What happened? Are we okay?
Yeah, everything's good. He's just like really good at solving problems faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington. We are a congregation that believes all of us need all of us to survive. And we set out to do our best to live that. We celebrate that we are a community of people from different backgrounds, races, of different genders, sexual orientations, and disabilities and abilities, both seen and unseen. We come together here intentionally to build community, to find some inspiration, and to live with purpose together. My name is Emily Abraham, and I serve as secretary to the Board of Trustees. Today is Sunday, January 26th, and whether this is your first time worshiping with us or this is your regular Sunday routine, we're glad you're here. This Sunday, we are celebrating our young people, many of whom I got to know as 7th graders. in the neighboring faiths or the crossing paths class, after they graduated from Spirit Play, to exploring all the varying faith traditions that exist around us in this community and in our broader city and in the world. It's a favorite course and one that we often have to keep the parents and other adults from sitting in on, I'm told. The coming of age class, I suspect, doesn't draw so many hangers-on. Because, spoiler alert, guys, I'm sorry, but this journey of work to figure out who you are, and what is true and what is right, and how you want to move through the world, it never actually ends. And that, in a nutshell, is why I'm looking forward to going to seminary, just for one day, here at UUCA, on Saturday, February 1st. This is going to be a one-day program offering worship, workshops, and talks by leading Unitarian Universalist theologians. I admit to not having heard of many of them before, but I take it on good authority that they are leading UU theologians.
They are leading.
In fact, our guests include the 10th and the current president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. I'm told there are already more than 100 people signed up to join us that day, so please consider coming along and bringing a friend too. The suggested donation is $20 to cover lunch, and this is meant for all people interested in learning more about UU theology and deepening their own faith. More information can be found in your program and on the posters throughout the building. Today after service, you're invited to stay for coffee hour. The green mugs are for visitors. Please take one because we'd like to welcome you. Again, welcome to UUCA.
Emily, who is not Burke, that was a beautiful welcome. Thank you so much, with a really masterful segue built in there. Well done. And Jeff and David and Devin, what a truly lovely way to begin our service this morning. I really appreciate you bringing that piece to us this morning. Friends, welcome. It is good to be together. I am Reverend Amanda Poppy. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm privileged to serve as senior minister here at UUCA. And I'm so excited this morning to be joined by a large worship team made up of many of our coming of age teens, as well as our UUCA house band. You've heard from a couple of them already. You'll hear from more. I'm grateful for everybody who supports worship on a Sunday morning, our ushers and our greeters and our coffee makers, our AV team, our teachers in religious education classrooms, our cup washers after we're done with our coffee or our tea, and every single one of you whose presence here this morning helps to create this particular moment. Never happening before, never to be repeated, with these people seated together in just this way. So I want to invite you, if you are watching online, to say hello in the chat, to let people know where you're watching from, feel connected across the miles. If you are here in our sanctuary right now, please turn toward each other, particularly to say hi to someone you haven't met yet. Glad you're here. What a joy to connect with friends old and new. I hope you continue those conversations during the coffee hour that follows our service this morning. Well, we began our service with the beautiful Korean folk song as we move toward the celebration of Lunar New Year, celebrated here in Arlington and by members of our congregation, as well as around the globe, and particularly in a number of East Asian countries. Lunar New Year is on Wednesday, and it has been celebrated for thousands and thousands of years. I am grateful, particularly in moments when history feels very present right now. I am grateful for the festivals and the celebrations and the stories that remind us of the long arc of human history over those thousands of years. And the reminder as we cycle through the year and mark it in our own ways around the world, that each of us has the chance to make choices and to begin anew. So I have two short poems written for celebration of the Lunar New Year. Both of them come from China. And the first is during the Song Dynasty, which was the 10th to 13th centuries, from a politician and scholar, Wang Anshi. This particular one appears in third grade textbooks and so is well known through China. Poetry from the Lunar New Year tends to honor not big mythology or grand stories, but instead connection, family, and neighborhood. And so at a time when we are seeking those core connections with each other and with our neighbors, I offer you these pieces. From Wang Anshi, New Year Day. With the noise of firecrackers, the old year has passed away. The spring breeze has infused warmth in the tusu wine. When the rising sun shines on the doors of each household, new peachwood charms are put up to replace the old. Peachwood charms were engraved upon in early years of celebrations of Lunar New Year. Now, in modern times, you are more likely to see their replacement, the red paper that may decorate your home or that you may see around in our community. This second brief poem speaks to the beginning that is offered to us each year. This is from UUCA in the Ming Dynasty, 14th through 17th centuries, Common Era. It is titled, An Extremely Cold Night in Taiwan on New Year's Eve. Please tell the friends living afar, the weather is chilly, but no need to worry. The spring wind is arriving and quite close to us, touching the eastern end of our house. May we find that the spring wind is coming, touching the eastern end of our house as we celebrate and worship this morning together.
Hello, my name is Annika Haney, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a freshman at Washington Liberty High School. I'm also a member of the Coming of Age class. This week, we open our hearts to those impacted by recent governmental changes. Whether based on identity, your immigration, or employment status, you are loved and valued. We light this candle in honor for you and everyone who works to advocate for your humanity. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love.
We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit to sing hymn 1020. It's in your teal hymnal, the green-blue hymnal. Whoa, yeah, yeah.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know it will, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know it is. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh 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 yeah, yeah.
I want to invite our younger friends to come forward if you would like and join us. And our less younger friends are going to share a story with you. And I hand that to you, so come on up. Can I sit down with you all and listen to the story this time? Okay, come on up. You see? Can you see Billy? Okay. And I think that we have some pictures might come up on the screen too. Do we have that set up, Cameron? There we go. So we can listen to the story here if you can see the pictures, or you can look at the pictures on the screen. You have two choices. All right.
Today, we're going to tell the story of Alma and how she got her name by Juana Martinez Niel. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pura Candela had a long name. Too long if you asked her. My name is so long, Daddy. It never fits, Alma said. Come here, he said. Let me tell you the story of your name. Then you decide if it fits. Sophia was your grandmother, he began. She loved books, poetry, jasmine flowers, and, of course, me. She was the one who taught me how to read. I love books and flowers, and you too, Daddy. I am Sophia. Esperanza was your great-grandmother, he continued. She hoped to travel, but never left the city where she was born. Her only son grew up to cross the 7 seas. Wherever her sailor son went, so did Esperanza's heart. The world is so big. I want to go see it, Daddy. You and me together. I am Esperanza. Jose was my father, Alma's daddy said. He was an artist with a big family, like many people had back then. Early each morning, he walked to the mountains and the plazas to paint everyday life. Sometimes I went along. Your grandfather taught me to see and to love our people. I wake up early every day, and I draw a lot too. This morning, I drew a kitty cat for you, Daddy. I am Jose. Pura was your great aunt. She believed that the spirits of our ancestors are always with us, watching over us. When you were born, she tied a red string to your wrist, a charm to keep you safe. Hello, Pura. It's me, Alma. Candela was your other grandmother. She always stood up for what was right. I am Candela. I love the story of my name. Now, tell me about Alma, Daddy. Where does that come from? I picked the name Alma just for you. You are the first and the only Alma. You will make your own story. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pura Candela. That's my name, and it fits me just right. I am Alma, and I have a story to tell.
So does anybody here have a story of their name, or do they know what it means? What? Oh, that's really cool. Anybody else?
My name means he who laughs.
Oh, that's also really cool. How about you? What does your name mean?
Heart.
Oh, that's nice. Anybody here have a story of their name or know how they got their name? Well, I can share mine. So my grandmother picked it out. She heard it from somewhere, and my family was just like, great name. And I was like, what about you, Reverend? Do you have anything regarding your own name?
My name means worthy of being loved. And so my mother picked it out, and it was between that and a name that meant worthy of being wondered at. So I like how she chose.
Does anybody else want to say anything?
I was named after my great-grandmother, who was named after the Shakespeare character Cordelia.
Oh, that's amazing. Named after history right there. Okay, now we're going to sing off children to their lessons. I do not know the words. Peace to you on your way. May you grow in love each day. Meeting new friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world you will find. To the wonders of the world you will find.
Hello, my name is Riley Pratt. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a 9th grader in coming of age. My mom, who is also the teacher of coming of age, has taught me to be mindful. It has helped me to stay in the present and be in the moment. With that being said, I would like to invite everyone through a guided meditation. This meditation is one of my favorites to help relax and relieve my stress. Feel free to close your eyes, lower your head, or whatever you feel most comfortable with. Plant yourself in the ground and let your hands fall to your side. We are going to escape somewhere far away from all possible anxiety and stress that you might be feeling in this moment. We're going to go to a beach. At our beach, we have this special ocean. Now, this ocean, it can carry the best and the worst of thoughts. When you breathe in, the waves roll up and they meet you at your feet. They take away all the stress and they relax yourself and your feet. When you breathe out, the waves roll away, taking a bit of stress with them. Breathing in again, the waves come back, This time, they get up to your knees, and when you breathe out, everything below your knees is now relaxed and stress-free. We're going to continue this process, breathing in and letting the waves come to your hips, breathing out, taking that stress and letting your muscles release tension. The waves roll up to your waist this time. Breathe in, breathe out, letting those waves roll away. Breathe in, and the waves are at our neck. Breathe out, and the waves are taking away our final drops of stress. Our bodies and minds are relaxed. Before we head home, we give our farewells to the waves who have washed away our stress. I invite you to open your eyes and come back to the present. Thank you, waves.
Here at UUCA, we share our gifts of time, our gifts of talent and music and words, presence, and also our gifts of money here in the congregation to support our mission and also out in the wider world. We share 70% of all funds collected on a Sunday morning beyond our core mission, often with organizations serving in Arlington or in the world beyond. This month of January, we are sharing with our teen group. So you're seeing today our coming of age teens. These are primarily 9th graders doing a half-year program of coming of age, a particular curriculum that they're working through and toward their credo statements, some of which you'll hear this morning. After that, they'll be moving into our teen group, which is our high school age group, 9th through 12th grade. And that group this year is hoping to return to a pre-COVID practice of doing a service trip during a part of their spring break. We are working with a community that we've worked with for many years in West Virginia who is prepared to have us back, and we want to make it as easy as possible for our teens to go and to do work there with that community, building their own sense of connection and helping and supporting as they're able in Appalachia. So I want to invite you to give generously to that work as well as to the ongoing mission of the congregation. You can give by cash or check. You can use the QR code that I'm sure is somewhere on the order of service. We are grateful for your gifts, and we are grateful for the gifts of music that we'll receive as well from one of our coming-of-age teens. And her stepdad will be singing as well. So I invite our ushers to take the collection as we hear this music.
And I'm accompanying Riley today, as opposed to the other way around. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along. To the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Thank you both so much for that music and for that song of hope for the world that we're going to make, needed this week. I invite you, as the ushers bring the collection forward, to join me in the blessing for that collection, a blessing of gratitude and of commitment. The words are in your order of service. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. Thank you both. As we move in through our service, I want to call your attention to something you may have seen on the front of your order of service, that today is a UUCA Mosaic Sunday. Perhaps you recall earlier in the fall, Rev CTC and I shared the chancel to talk a little bit about Mosaic work. Mosaic is a thing. It's an online hub of resources created by the Unitarian Universalist Association that offers trainings and curricula and readings and lesson plans, all of them focused on anti-racism and anti-oppression work. So it's like a thing. It's a website, right? And it's also a thing. It's an idea, it's a concept, it's an inviting in to the mosaic, to the weaving together of all of our backgrounds and identities, a centering of voices that have been marginalized historically, a commitment within the congregation and within the Unitarian Universalist denomination and movement writ large toward that anti-oppression and anti-racism work. And so as we engage with Mosaic here at UUCA, you're going to see once a month some special Mosaic Sundays. You'll see a few changes, more art in our public spaces, film showings and congregational-wide book reads, time for compassionate conversations to encourage open dialogue and understanding. We are working collectively to foster belonging and liberation in our Unitarian Universalist congregations, and leaning into one of our congregational goals in our annual vision of ministry to build on current anti-racism, anti-oppression, and multicultural work through training and other activities in order to link our spiritual growth to actions that build the beloved community, that build the world we long to make. So as we deepen that work, watch out for our Mosaic Sundays, when you are likely to hear music and readings that are chosen with particular care to center many different racial and ethnic backgrounds, identities, experiences in the world. And you can get involved right away. You can read more about Mosaic on your order of service, the website, the hub of resources. You can sign up to become a Mosaic facilitator through some online training, and you can take part in our Mosaic work throughout the year. So keep an eye out as we continue to deepen that work within this congregation. And now I'd like to invite Sasha to come forward and share our reading this morning.
My name is Sasha Courtney. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in 9th grade in the Coming of Age. I will be reading an excerpt from the poem 11 by Sandra Cicernos. What they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. You open your eyes and everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. And you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10, and you are, underneath the year that makes you 11. Like some days, you might say something stupid, and that's the part of you that's still 10. Or maybe some days, you might need to sit on your mama's lap, and that's because you're scared, and that's the part of you that's 5. And maybe one day, when you're all grown up, and maybe you'll need to cry like you're 3, and that's okay. That's what I tell Mama when she's sad and needs to cry. Maybe she's feeling 3. Because the way you grow old is kind of like an onion, or like the rings inside a tree trunk, or like my little wooden dolls that fit one inside the other. Each year is inside the next one, and that's how being 11 years old is.
Sasha, thank you so much for that reading. So I got to attend one of the coming of age classes this past year to spend time with these teens and their facilitators. And it just so happens that it was the class during which they engaged with this reading and then did a little bit of reflective writing and journaling and talked about it with each other. What did it feel like to be these teens are not 11, they are 13 and 14 years old in general. But what did it feel like to be their age and also to be another age? And it was wonderful to hear their thoughts and reflections. But I was invited to participate in the journaling as well, and the facilitators, the adult facilitators, also participated. And boy, it turned out I had a lot to journal about from that particular reading. It turned out, in fact, that I am sometimes 3 and need to cry, and sometimes I'm 11. We were invited after the reading to use as our journaling prompt the question, if you could write to yourself at an earlier age, what age would it be, and what would you tell yourself? I had a lot to say to myself, it turned out, at 24. And even choosing the age to write to felt like a significant moment of reflection. What turning point was right ahead of me or just behind me? Why was it that that particular age stood out? I am one of those people that actually has trouble figuring out what happened when. If you asked me if something was 10 years ago or 12 years ago or 3 years ago, I'd have to figure out like how tall my children were and then try to make a guess. And yet there are moments in our lives when we remember particularly how old we were, or where we were, or what we were doing, or whom we were with. Moments that feel like threshold moments, just before or just after a bridge that we have crossed. And so I wrote and wrote and wrote in my little COA journal that they handed me that morning, a letter to myself at 24. That was some months ago, and I bet if I went and wrote that same letter today, it would be a little bit different because I'm a little older, a little more onion skin layered on. I wonder if you were to journal with that prompt, what age you would choose. What would you say to your past self? What bridge would you be just about to cross? The coming of age curriculum at UUCA is centered around 3 concepts that the teens work through over the course of their time together: belonging, becoming, and beyond. To me, that prompt fell within the becoming section, and I'm looking at the facilitators to see if it did. Phew, that's good. Probably should have checked that before the sermon. It fell in the becoming section, in figuring out where we have been and where we are going, and what it means to be on, as Emily told us in the board welcome, the in fact never-ending process of coming of age. Our wisdom lesson that Annika and Sasha T. shared this morning makes me think that we need to start with belonging, with understanding where our name came from, what our history is, how our ancestors have shaped us, how we become who we are, and then how we claim that name and move forward. My favorite part of that story is that in addition to all of the names from grandmothers and great aunts and grandfathers, Alma also had a name that was all her own. And each of us have the power to name ourselves, to claim the name that we were given, to grow into it and to have it hold meaning for us, to choose a different name that fits us better, that names perhaps both where we have belonged and also what we are becoming. The power to name ourselves and to be named in return. One of the experiences that I have had that really holds meaning to me around that idea of both belonging, of history, and also becoming comes from an ancestor of mine, my grandma Sybil. She wasn't my genetic, biological grandmother. She wasn't married into the family. She was a family friend's mother. She taught me to knit, and she sat with me and told me about podiatry. She was actually the first woman podiatrist in Kansas, I think. And she also taught me to read palms, Grandma Sybil did. She taught me about the lifeline and the heart line and the line of fate that goes up through them. And one of the things she taught me in her understanding of palmistry was that on your right hand holds all that you have inherited, what you were born with, what you have less control over. And on your left hand, those lines are the lines that you are still creating. The way that you take what you were born with and then build and create possibility. I realized later on, much later on, that the tattoos that I chose to have on both of my arms follow that pattern. Art that is meaningful for what I have inherited, what I hold, and art that is meaningful for what I continue to create, who I continue to become. Because it is certainly true that becoming is lifelong. So if we think about our own lives, if we start with belonging and where we have come from, to whom we belong now, if we move through becoming the continual process of coming more and more into our own fullest selves. What then is the beyond? I think about it as our why. Why are we who we are? For what purpose? For whom? To do what in the world? I have a friend who shared recently on Facebook that some years ago she began a spiritual practice, one that helped her to support her own self-care, to be able to move through the world taking care of themselves. That spiritual practice was, at the end of the sentence, any sentence about something that they were trying to do with intention, they ended the sentence, "so that I can fight fascism," as an example. I'm taking care of myself and having a good dinner tonight so that I can fight fascism. I'm studying and learning and reading so that I can fight fascism. I'm sleeping and resting when I need to sleep and rest. I'm building connections with my neighbors and meeting them where they are. I'm learning about my community so that I can show up, so that I can fight fascism. Now, you may have a different end of your sentence, a different why, but I think that all of us need something there. Something that helps us to honor all that we have been, all the places we come from, the places we belong, to honor all that we are still becoming, what we seek to create in our own lives, and to help us remember that all of that is not just so we can sit around having become, but so that we can move in the world to help to make it the world we wish for. In a little bit, we will hear from our teens some of the credo statements that they have created, what they believe. And having had a sneak peek ahead of the service, I think you will hear in their words that they aren't believing that they're going to just sit around having become something, but that what they believe is deeply tied to how they want to be in the world, to what the why is, the why that we are all still discovering over the course of our lives. And after that, they'll go through a ritual crossing this very tiny bridge, which is signed by all of the folks who have crossed it before. We only started a couple years ago with this bridge. They'll cross this tiny bridge and they'll go through a threshold moment, maybe one of those ones that they will remember later. But the truth is, right, that we cross the bridge and then come around and cross it again over and over in our lives through the cycle of new years, through the cycle of seasons of life, through the cycle of history. Each time we come to a bridge, we have a choice of how and whether to cross it and why. So as we all belong and as we continue to become, may we remember the beyond, the end of the sentence, and may we live our lives toward that end. I'd like to invite now our coming of age teens to come forward and to share their credo readings with us. Ready? All right, Liam.
Hello, my name is Liam Eberly. I am part of the Coming of Age group. This is my credo. Success in life is a flower with love, friendship, and humor making up the stem, petals and leaves. But that flower is only alive in a bed of confidence. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Caroline. I'm part of the coming of age group. I believe I am kind to myself and to others. I am brave. I am confident in myself. I have grit. I can make a difference. I do make a difference. We are all unique. We shouldn't fit in but stand out. And there's a fire in my soul that can never be put out.
Hello, my name is Sasha Duplessis. I'm part of the 9th grade youth group, and I'm about to read my credo, my beliefs. I believe that nothing comes after death. That is okay. I believe that you carry your ancestors with you in blood, body, spirit, and soul. There are exceptions to every rule, and you have to live with that. I also have 3 core truths that follow me right now in my life: food, football, and fencing. The sport, not building fences.
Hello, I'm Riley. I'm also a member of the coming of age. One major part of my belief system is that all people should be included and are worthy of love. So I'm not only going to be speaking my credo, I will also be signing it in ASL. Hate does not exist. Hate is only the absence of love. You make your own choices. The universe can help. The universe does help. Kindness leads the way. Following your values will lead you on the correct path. All people are worthy of love.
I'm Sasha, also part of the coming of age group. This is my credo, or my rules to live by. Go on adventures, seek knowledge, be creative. Don't listen if others say you can't. Don't lose your childlike sense of wonder and curiosity. Ask questions if you don't know. Ask questions to get new opinions. Ask for help. Give second chances and trust others. Keep your word. Fairness is important. Be true to yourself. Dreams can be achieved. People are entitled to their own opinions. Embrace change. Work to advance the world. Things will always change. Adapt with it.
So I would now like to invite our coming of age facilitators first to come up to the podium. This is Bruce, Jen, and Holly, who have been there really almost every Sunday since September working with our coming of age teens and have done such a beautiful job shaping and leading this curriculum. So I'm very grateful for that. I also want to let you know that they will be offering an adult version of coming of age this spring through our Faith 360 program. So if you feel as though you have not completed coming of age, spoiler alert, you have not, head back to the table in Fellowship Hall, learn a little bit more. There are some prompt questions. Sign up for that class with them and continue your own coming of age journey that we are, as it turns out, all on. So thank you to our facilitators. And then I'm gonna so if you will, you come up toward the podium. Yep, exactly. And then I'm gonna invite all of our coming of age teens to come on up and cluster over here is what you're doing. Just like make a clump. That's perfect. Okay, and do you have your, yeah, exactly. You've got your, great. Great. Our coming of age ritual helps us to see metaphorically the journey that these teens have been on. So I invite you to begin. We'll share our words, and there are words for the congregation on the screen in front of you. And then we'll invite our coming of age teens across the bridge one by one and celebrate them at the end.
To our coming of age teens, today we applaud you.
For all that you have been.
For all you are now, and for all you will be.
Today marks an ending and also a beginning.
Today you cross the bridge. Go now and explore what comes next. We will support and nurture you even as we learn from you. Today you cross this bridge, this little tiny bridge. Even as you venture out, you are not alone. I congratulate you, the congregation celebrates you, the teen group welcomes you, and anyone who is in the teen group or in the spirit of Sandra Cisneros' poem has ever been a teenager, I invite you to give a little welcome cheer. We say together the final words of our ritual and then invite our teens across. Together we learn, together we love, together we grow.
Right. Liam Eberly. Riley Prout. Sasha Tepleski. Caroline Rivera. Annika Haney. Sasha Courtney. And Alex Kerr.
Can we hear it for our amazing coming of age teens? I invite you now, with all of that energy and possibility and hope, to rise in body and spirit and join in singing our closing hymn again in your teal hymnal, 1051, We Are.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. The breath of our ancestors, we are the spirit. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are grandmother's prayers, and we our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandfather's prayers, and we are our grandmother's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Please join me in the candle extinguishing words in your order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world. Thank you.
Friends, may you remember to whom you belong. May you celebrate who you are becoming. And may you work beyond all of that to build the world we dream about. May it be so.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out.
I am brave.
I am bruised.
I
I'm who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
I'm not scared
To be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh.
Another round of bullets hits my skin. We'll far away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in.
We are busting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Oh, we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause